What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome. I'm Chief Running Mouth.
And I'm Captain Jenne.
And today, we're angry.
So very angry. We're actually going to be talking about bright futures today. Now, if you don't know what bright futures is, it probably seems really odd that I'm angry about something that is called bright futures. It's a very strange thing to be upset about, but you'll understand in a minute. Bright Futures is a scholarship program in Florida that awards students for good academic work and service hours during their time in high school. And it awards them with either a 75% scholarship or a 100% scholarship to a state public university or college. That program is the reason that I had a zero cost tuition for my last 3.5 years of undergrad. I did transfer from a private school after my first year. So if you're wondering why I was in school for like more than that, I did transfer. So, and private schools do accept Bright Futures, but it doesn't the 100% doesn't apply. It's just like a flat fee. So I transferred, and then I didn't have to pay tuition for my degree because I worked really, really hard in high school and it meant the world to me. So recently, Florida decided that they're going to change the way Bright Futures works. And I understand things change. I understand things are trying to evolve with time. But something about this change is making people angry. And I understand their anger. I also got really, really upset when I read the briefing, the changes in it, because of one line. This line essentially says that degrees and programs of study that don't lead to a job as determined by the Florida Department of Education or whoever's in charge of this will not be eligible for Bright Futures at all. So students that are going into a major or a degree of study that doesn't fit what someone's definition of a degree that leads to a job, that student doesn't get the scholarship. Just because they wanted to major in something that somebody else thinks is not, it doesn't lead to a job. First of all, you get more than just your degree program in college. Every program leads to a job. You hope that it leads to one in your field, but sometimes it doesn't. Like my friend Dave, he majored in Asian studies. That didn't technically lead to his current job, but it could have led to being an ambassador. It could have led to being a professor. It could have led to being in political science. It could have led to anything. He's technically a massage therapist, but that's still a job. It still led to a job. He went, he got the degree, he has credentials, he learned a lot of things, including writing, math, all these things. And he has a job. So what made me mad is that I'm sitting here wait a minute. So you're telling me that, and I know the arts are going to be on that list. I know for a fact the arts are going to be on that list of things that don't lead to a job. I've been told my whole life, why would you major in music? That's the useless degree, right? Okay, I literally have 4 jobs right now, all because of my music degree. They're all because of my music degree. Yes, I went to grad school after, but I could have gotten all these jobs. And I did get these jobs based on my music degree. So why did I go to grad school? That's the real question. But anyway, we'll talk about that. Because of a bachelor's in music, I have a full-time, with benefits, with tenure job. Not quite with tenure, but as close as it gets. I have, 3 independent contractor? 3 independent contractor jobs where I make side income. And before anybody says, well, isn't it because you got that useless degree that you have to have those jobs? No, actually I could live very well off of my full-time job that I only got because of my music degree. And let me be very clear about that. But because these jobs are in something that I am passionate about and I love, that I was lucky enough to study, I want to have more than one job. I want to contribute to society in multiple ways. Isn't that what people should be going for?
I would assume so. But maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. It's just, okay, I would not have my teaching job, even though I do teach multiple subjects. I got that job because I had a degree in music. I never would have been hired to teach at the school that I teach at, or really any school at that time especially, if it weren't for my music degree. There were a dime a dozen math teachers everywhere. I had a music degree. Barely anybody had that when they were looking for teachers. That's why I got my job. I am a professor at a college. I don't have a degree in the subject that I teach, but because of my music degree and because I went to grad school, so there's a reason to go to grad school, because I have the graduate credit hours, but because of the training I got in the music degree and the courses that are on my transcript in the music degree, I am able to teach the course that I do. Because technically, tap dance is a music art as well as a dance art. Also, being a choreographer, that you have no idea how much I got from my music degree that has made me the choreographer that I am. Also studying the music business side, also studying the music technology side. I edit all my own tracks. I actually make money music editing, so never mind, I have 5 jobs. So all of that is because of my music degree. So the fact that somebody said that certain degrees aren't going to lead to jobs, like, I'm sorry, what degree doesn't lead to a job? What do you do?
I am basically a professional photographer, videographer, graphic designer.
Yeah, you got a degree in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That led to a job, right?
Yeah. It led to me. I went to school. I got the degree. I get gigs.
Yeah, more, and actually you have like a steady job because you are a professional dance company's photographer and videographer, and that pays, and you have a steady job because of that.
Yeah.
But also, he was looking into getting a job as like a graphic designer at like a big company, or we were just recently looking at this, or doing videography work for, I forget what, I don't know if I can say what it was actually, doing photography and videography work for different companies, or real estate videography. And those paid a lot, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
I think they started at like $56K a year.
Oh yeah. There were several of them that were like between at least 40 and above. There was a couple of them that were up to almost 80 or 85 grand a year.
Yeah.
Now, they all also had this requirement though.
What was the requirement again?
They said you had to have at least an associate's. For some of them did require a bachelor's, which would mean that you'd have to go to more studies in that field, right?
But did it lead to a job?
I think so. A very well-paying job.
A very well-paying job. So like, I just don't get it. And I was asked. I made a big post. I kind of popped off on Facebook and Instagram today, but I made a post and I was asked, but could you have done those jobs without the degree? And my answer was, this is not a question of whether or not a musician, an artist, a dancer, a writer, whether or not those people should go to college or not to do their job. This is a question of, if you choose to go to college to get higher educated, should you be discriminated against because of the major that you choose to go into and the field that you choose to go into, with the reasoning that it doesn't lead to a job? That's the question. And the answer is no. That's like, the question is music and the arts and writing and anything that they deem not leading to a job, religious studies, they'll probably say wouldn't lead to a job. But let me tell you how many people I know that work in that field that got that degree. The question is whether or not those degrees are worthwhile, and they are. Whether or not they're as valuable as an economics degree, and they are. I am an artist. I teach, I create, I work a lot. But again, I choose to work multiple jobs. But let's just take my day job, right? I'm a music teacher. My roommate has a degree in finance, and he got one of those like worthwhile degrees, right? And he has a job in finance. I work like 7.5 hours a day for my salary, right? Or 7 3/4 hours a day. Never mind the fact that I grade papers till like midnight or whatever. I enjoy it. It's fine. I get to read my kids' papers about like Bach and like Renaissance music, and I love it. So, but like, he works like a 12-hour day, and I only work like a 7-hour day. So yes, he makes a little bit more money than I do. And he probably has a track to make more money than I do. But that's not what the question was. The question wasn't whether or not like the degree was going to lead to the highest paying job. The question is, was it going to lead to a job? Do I have a job?
Yes.
Awesome. Does my roommate have a job?
Yes.
Awesome. So that proves that an economics degree and a music degree lead to a job. Mm-hmm. Doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Do you have a job?
I do. I got a couple.
How many jobs do you have? Like 4?
Yes.
And 3 of them are in the arts?
Yes.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Nice, right?
And my other job is I had to have a degree that I got in the arts in order to get that job.
Yep. So...
But they don't lead to the jobs?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't lead to jobs at all. Like, what kind of qualifier is that, and who decides that? Can I be the person that decides that?
Can I do that? Because there's some jobs out there, or some degrees that I'm just like, I don't know anyone that's ever A, gotten a degree in there, or B, has had a job in there. But
I know of a lot of degrees, okay? I was a college advisor for a while, and let me tell you, every degree leads to a job. Mm-hmm. Every single one. Certain degrees, I guess, have more people placed into that field than others, and you would be so shocked to see who actually goes into their actual field and who doesn't. People that study music, typically, I want to say like at least 70% of those people go into music, whether they do it as a secondary job or whether they do it as their main job because they become a teacher, or a professor, or maybe they become a studio owner, like to record music for people. I would say 70% or more. I'll have to look up this statistic. I will, but like it's got to be a high number because the people that go into music are passionate about it. Mm-hmm. How many people that go into the arts, that go into art, art degrees, how many people do you think get a job in their field?
I would say a really high amount because of the fact that, like you said, they're there because they're passionate about this. Now, throughout the course of their studies, they're going to learn all the other opportunities that are available to them in the art field. Mm-hmm. Like one of the girls that I started class with, she was gung-ho about being she wanted to draw manga. That was her goal. She wanted to go to school to be a manga artist. And on her graduation, she found out that she got hired at a job as a graphic designer and absolutely loves graphic design now because she got to learn about it. She had never done it before then.
But her degree led to a job, right? In that field.
Yeah.
And even if it's not very easy to see that it was in that field, it's still, you got the degree, it led to a job. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many people major in pre-med that don't actually go into medicine? Do you have any idea that number? It's really high. Or pre-law that don't go into law school, that like never actually go to law school, but they majored in pre-law. But I bet that's going to be one of those majors that's allowed.
My cousin is in school. He's on his final stretch for to be a doctor. Mm-hmm. And he's told me that over the years, he's seen so many kids halfway, quarter of the way, almost all the way done, drop and not do anything.
And there's nothing wrong with trying to go through a program and it's just not working for you, or something happens in life and you have to drop out. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you change your mind, you change your major. But if the qualifier is that the degree leads to a job, I think that they need to look at all of that data and say, wow, more music majors and art majors actually get jobs in their field versus pre-law and pre-med actually don't. And I'm talking undergraduate majors. You have to look at the undergraduate data to life data because graduate students don't get bright futures, so that doesn't apply. I know so many people that majored in economics and they don't work in that field. They don't work in economics. So but I actually know people that majored in, I have a friend that majored in chemistry and now she works as a tutor, like a academic coach. Did her degree not lead to a job? She was an actual chemist for a while, but now she's an academic coach. So according to this qualifier, did her degree not lead to a job? How long do you have to keep that job in order for it to count? Yeah. When in your life do you have to get that job? Does it have to be right after college?
Is it a 30-day window?
Is it years later?
Date?
I have lots of questions, and none of them are, I wonder if music really is a worthwhile major. 'Cause it is. My 4 jobs that I have because of my degree in music have a lot to say to the people at Bright Futures. So I hope that this doesn't go through. I truly hope that it doesn't. Mm-hmm. If it does, my advice to students is to look into double majoring. Look into programs that you can double major in so that you can qualify for Bright Futures, and add that second major in the field that you actually want to do. And there's ways of making those compatible. Like if, let's say, one of the majors that qualifies is like obviously biology probably would, or business, nutrition science. And let's say you want to be a dancer. Awesome. Make your primary major nutrition science, biology, anatomy and physiology, sports medicine, any of that stuff, and make your second major dance. But in your heart, you know which one's your main major, right? There's no distinction on the degree which one was first and which one was second, by the way. So if that goes through, I will make a whole other video giving advice to all of those students in Florida out there. I used to be an advisor. It's a job I hope I have again one day because it was very fun. It was like my grad school job. It wasn't like a TA thing. I was an actual advisor, but also I went to grad school at the same time.
Did your degree lead to that?
Actually, yes. Yes, it did. My music degree led to that job. Really? Did it? An academic advisor job? Yes, because I got hired by the College of Music to be a music student advisor. I wasn't a student advisor. I mean, like, advisor for music students. I was an adult with a job, real job, with, like, benefits and stuff. Gave it up to be a touring musician, but whatever. Yeah, how long did I have to keep that job for it to qualify as I got a job?
10 years?
Maybe.
6 years.
I don't know. I've been working as a music teacher for 10 years, so I did it, right? I'm just saying, this is absolute fiddlesticks.
I guess my biggest concern is, what gives one person or a group of people the right to decide if one degree is better than another?
I don't know. The qualifier that they put is does not lead to a job. And I'm sitting here like, okay, give me a major and I will tell you exactly how that leads to a job. I will also give you real life examples with interviews. Let me be the one that fights for this. Let me be the one that goes down to the state capitol and says, all right, we're going to sit down and you're going to explain to me a thing. And then I will explain you back a thing. Let me be that person. How do I do that? How do I, like, spearhead this and say, hi, I'm a graduate of a music program and I have this many jobs and I'm here to tell you that this is fiddlesticks.
This is fiddlesticks.
I'm going to change my name to Fiddlesticks.
But yeah, it's just weird that if that's the qualifier, technically none of the jobs or none of this coursework leads to it. You have to go out and get to it. It's not like right as soon as you graduate, you have a job.
Yeah. So if that's the qualifier, if leads to a job as a qualifier, does that mean that all degree programs are required to include job placement at the end of the degree? Like once you graduate, you know that you've gotten a job because your degree program has secured you a job? Because if that's not a thing, then I don't think this is valid at all.
Could you imagine walking across the stage? They're like, here's your diploma or piece
and
of
here's
paper,
your job placement.
And here's your job placement. And you open it to see where you get to work now. They're like, where?
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Utah.
I mean, I'm glad it's not like that because people should have the choice to work where they want and be in whatever field. But again, like, what kind of a plan is this? This is terrible, and I hope it doesn't pass. I really, really hope it doesn't pass because it's discriminatory and it's just plain incorrect. So what I want y'all to do is if you see this video, I want you to write down in the comments whether you got a degree in something that you don't think is going to be on that list of leads to a job. And tell me what you actually do. Or if you have one of those jobs or one of those degrees where it was like, I majored in pre-med and now you're like a high up manager at Publix. Like your degree did not lead to that job. You have a job, but it didn't lead to it. By the way, high up managers at Publix, first of all, that is a fantastic job for a really great company and they make bank. So Good on you. Yeah, maybe you majored in like chemistry and you were like, actually, I want to be like the produce department manager and make really cool displays.
One of my buddies got an engineering degree.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be one of those that leads to a job. What does he do?
He is actually he's a butcher. That's what he does. He loves it. He's like, I don't have to do math except for win. He goes, I never have to touch my calculator again.
So his degree didn't lead to a job, did it?
No.
Oh.
But he got his
But
his
yours
bachelor's.
did.
Yeah.
But your art degree led to an art job.
Yeah.
And my music degree led to a music job. Mm-hmm. Several. So, Bright Futures, if you're seeing this, explain yourself. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if you guys have more to say on this subject, or if you want another video where I pop the fiddlesticks off, then go ahead and write that down in the comments. Obviously, my favorite word of the day is, fiddlesticks.
And if you are passionate about this and you want to make sure that these kids still have the right to go with whatever career that they dream of or that they believe in.
There are places that you can sign petitions. Mm-hmm. There are ways to fight this, and I will write that in the description of this video. I will put all the links there, and you can sign whatever petitions or join whatever info groups that you need to join. So yeah.
Now, normally we would be like, hey, make sure you like and share and all that for, to help grow our channel and things. But honestly, share this to educate people, because a lot of people don't know that they're in the process of doing this. So their child who dreams of being a performer, an artist, a musician, or whatever other qualifier that they're going to say is not valid,
they're going to lose out on the same scholarship money that every other student would qualify for, simply because they don't want to crunch numbers for a living, or because they don't want to design buildings for a living, or whatever. Simply because of that. What if they want to play the cello? And what if symphonies really prefer that you have a degree in music before they accept your audition? And that's a thing. They really prefer that. So you do need the degree. Mm-hmm. And again, this isn't a question of whether or not you should go to college. That's a different question. And that is up to everybody personally. Mm-hmm.
I agree with
that's
that.
A life choice, This is, if you want to go to college, your degree should be considered as valid as anybody else's degree.
If you did all the work to earn that, you should get it.
A religious studies degree would lead to what? Being a pastor? Being a cantor? Mm-hmm. Being a religious studies professor? Are none of those jobs? Because I'm pretty sure that they're jobs. Like you show up regularly and get paid, right?
Mm-hmm. You got a W-2?
Yeah. 1099, it's still a job. Mm-hmm. So please give us your thoughts in the comments, and go find my post on Facebook. I can also link that down below, and just share it. Please. It's short and sweet, not the 25-minute version of this video, but it's short and sweet. Please share it. Please get this out there just so people understand that this is happening and that there is something that they can do. While making this video, I have gotten several messages from people saying, thank you for saying this. Oh, what are your jobs? What are the options then? Stuff like that. So obviously I
found a nerve.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you guys for joining us today, and I promise our next video will be much happier. Bye.
Bye, guys.